As I take a walk around my local park, today marks the day that Re.MARK.S, whether I call it Re.MARK.S Diary or podcast, Re.MARK.S is now officially a public thing. And it's nerve-wracking as hell, but yeah, it's along the same line of radical bravery and honesty and transparency and vulnerability and openness. It's the whole surrendering to what's only you right now, recognizing all that is you as a form of boosting that self-awareness and as a way of manually falling into a line and a pattern of, I'm going to be completely honest with myself to get to know myself better. Because once you really know yourself, then you can increase that level of self-awareness and improve yourself further and further. And that's essentially what humankind needs, I believe, is the main thing. I think humanity really needs to delve inside, get to really know themselves, and then transform from in to out. So that's the path that I've been on for quite some time, and I've realized that listening to Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, I've been listening to that audiobook again, and holy crap, it's so good. Without getting into the whole Tolle sphere, it just reminded me about where I have been, where my perceptions and where my focus has been. It's been dwelling in the imprisoned state, you know. It's been taken control of by ego and the mind predominantly. And that's where I've been living, and that's where humanity basically, I think, in general, like the overwhelmingly, is living somewhere between the ego and the mind. And then we have aspects of the body as well as aspects of grace and spirit and chaos. All of the other aspects are there lingering in the background, and we might flutter in and out of those other aspects. And I believe that I'm starting to paint a pattern of what I'm starting off as the 6 aspects of us, individuals and collectively. But I digress. Listening to The Power Now, I've been in the ego mind state. And I'm becoming more aware of little truths. And the more that I am honest with myself and, you know, use these voice notes as a way of just bringing out, revealing, discussing truths that normally one would suppress and not even talk about, even in their own company alone. And unless you have people around you who are able to actually see how you are when you think that you're alone, and witness all the icks and the, like, I can't believe you do that, you know, all the unfavorable aspects of your character, they actually come out day to day whenever you're alone. And I'm alone a lot of the time. I don't have anyone looking over my shoulder, seeing what I do with my hours. I don't have a partner who is so able to just see everything that I do and know what I'm thinking. I don't have that. I just have me. And the closest friends that I have, they're only as close as the conversations are willing to go. And on the surface, people might admit that, oh yeah, I can talk about anything with my closest friends. Well, that may be true if your closest friends allow you to go into those deep conversations. But if you, as an individual, are not able to go deep enough and express those uncomfortable, inconvenient truths within yourself, within the now, what you are doing is. And there's no point trying to excuse your behaviors and let the mind and the ego weave some kind of pattern, some kind of belief, some kind of explanation. It happens all the time. We're using the same tools that have enthralled us in this ego mind aspect, this world, that we weave so many stories about ourselves that can excuse our ill behaviors and our weaknesses and our failings. And whether that's on the side of, I don't know, immaturity, or whether that's on the side of envy, or just the feeling of being lost, or misunderstood, not understood, any kind of deep life experience that you're going through right now, as I have been, is a really important part of it is just always the first step of being aware of it itself. And if you don't have people around you who are close enough to question, why are you doing that? How much time do you focus on that? Why are you doing all of these things, anything else, but the one thing that you've been struggling with the most, the one that's arguably the most important thing, the top priority? Why are you not addressing that? Why are you not talking to me? Why are you not reconnecting with your parents? Why are you not, it's those kind of deep questions that the people who are suffering with those specific things the most, they will completely tense up, and then they know, yeah, that is what I'm suppressing. That's what I'm hiding. And if you use a pattern like this, where you're making like an audio diary, and you're expressing your innermost truths and sharing that openly with the world, it's not for the purpose of other people, first and foremost. This is a process for me. But I like fluttering between first-person perspective and retrospective, third-party, future mark, where this has already become very useful and people are actually becoming subscribers and listeners, and this becomes, not just a diary, but some kind of podcast that people like to listen to and follow along with. Because I hope that it can actually help others to really open up and flourish. And I'm hoping that ahead of time, I can do that for myself in the same process. So I'm both helping myself in the present, which is all that matters, and setting myself up to actually benefit my future self and everyone's future selves and present selves. That's what I'd like. So before I get even more ahead of myself, which is a frequent thing, I want to go back to celebrating, let's say, at least acknowledging that this is a scary ass journey. I'm somehow brave enough or more inclined to do this, which is a very open, very honest activity that I hope I make a habit of, because it's all aligned with being open and honest. And it requires you talking out loud, not just everything, the whole world, everyone's dark secrets are only within their own minds. And there's so much that no one talks about. And no one knows. And this is part of the heaviness that keeps us locked down and dragging our baggage, dragging our weight. It really, really does weigh our minds down, and our emotions, of course, everything follows suit. So let's try and celebrate the launch of Re.MARK.S Diary. All right, what I wanted to mention was, okay, maybe I'll leave it for the next one. This has already been long enough. You can stop listening now if you want. I'm just trying to unlock my phone. I've got gloves on, so I can't... there it is. Okay. Bye.